Megan, I appreciate you coming in and talking with me today, especially since I know you have a job that you have to get to pretty quickly, so I'll try to make this fairly quick. But I do have a few concerns about some things that have been going on recently, mainly as it pertains to your being prepared for lessons. Does that make sense to you? Are you feeling like you know what I might be talking about, or is that not resonating at all?
I mean, I'm trying to be as prepared as possible, but I do know that, I mean, like I said, I have to get to my second job. I have to pay my bills, so I have to get going here soon. But yeah, I guess I thought I was doing okay with my lesson planning. But
well, you've taught 2 lessons today, right? You taught the math one and you taught the reading one.
Right.
I thought the math one went really well.
Yeah.
Like, you obviously were really well prepared for that one. What were your thoughts about the reading lesson plan?
I was getting a little confused with the text. I don't think I was as prepared. I didn't refresh my reading on that chapter, so I think that I got a little confused with the other chapters that we were reading, and so I probably should have reread that last night, but I had to work. I had to close last night, so I was working until a little after midnight. I had to get home, get to sleep, and then get here today. So I just wasn't as prepared as I should have been.
Well, and it sounds like you kind of realized that, so I'm glad. That relieves me to know that you realized that. But what's really important is that I know that it's a reality that people have to work sometimes during student teaching, and I get it. We can't tell people to not work. It's not possible for some people, but there's got to be some time that you prepare for those lessons, because it's so critical that you go and prepare. And you saw that yourself when you saw kind of how that fell apart. Mm-hmm. Especially since pretty soon you're going to be teaching more than 2 lessons a day.
Right.
And then if you're not able to plan for those adequately, then you're going to go through the day feeling like you're just playing catch up and you're trying to crowd control, and it's not going to result in good student learning, is what I'm saying. I hear you when you say that you're busy and you have to have your job, but the other thing that I would say is that this has kind of got to be your priority, and I don't know how you make that work with work. Maybe some suggestions are if you could talk to your parents about maybe a loan. I know that sometimes students right in the middle of their student teaching, they find themselves sort of in this financial bind, and so maybe they talk to their parents. Their parents can get a quick loan for them so they can lay off some of their hours a little bit. Maybe you could talk to your boss. I don't know. Maybe a shift, you could cut down on 1 shift a week if you can still manage on that. But my fear is that you're going to get all the way through this experience and you're not going to get what you need out of it. You're not going to be prepared to have a classroom of your own.
Right.
And that's a big fear of mine. I mean, the other fear is quite, I think realistically that I don't want my students to suffer. I don't want their learning to suffer. So I do feel that there's some changes that need to be made, and maybe we could talk through some of those things, but I think ultimately there's going to have to be some work hours. If you can't work around that and you don't have enough time to plan, there might have to be a shift that you cut back on, or something is going to have to happen, because otherwise I just don't know how it's going to work. And I'll help you however I can. I will support. I will look over those plans if you can get to me, and I can help you tweak them. But I can't work with something that I don't have.